Well, we've got our samples right here. This is a scone, a chocolate chip scone.
Okay.
This is a shortbread. It's very similar to a sugar cookie, only a lot less sugar. And instead of putting frosting all over your cookies, add some powdered sugar. So she's going to go ahead and scoop in her butter.
And why do you think it's so important to get the kids involved?
First of all, cookies that you home make don't have all the preservatives and all the other stuff in them, but it's teaching the kids kind of how to take the time. So we have butter. Go ahead.
Dump it all in.
Yeah. Powdered sugar. And then I'm using, this is another nice technique, is using whole wheat pastry flour. It does have a little bit more of a brown consistency.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, too, it keeps it more moist. And out here in the desert, your cookies get dry in like 2 days.
Okay.
Using that flour really helps.
Out. Okay, so once you eventually add all that, you're going to end up with your...
You put it in a disc, and then you put it in the fridge, and then you pull it out, kind of soften it up.
How long do you have to put it in the fridge?
I'd say about an hour.
Okay.
It's simpler desserts that you can have when you're going to friends' parties. How do you choose it so they don't get it stuck in your braces?
Yeah.
We're actually melting down some honey and brown rice syrup. I like brown rice syrup. It's an alternative to...
I was like, brown rice syrup? I've never heard of that.
It's an alternative to corn syrup, a lot healthier. It doesn't raise your sugar levels as high.
So you just rolled that out?
You just put it out, and then you bake in the oven at 300 for about 45 minutes. You do have to, every 15 minutes, stir it up. Either use your, well, not use your hands.
That's homemade granola.
Isn't that yummy?
So once you have this, you have another recipe.
I do. I have the fruit leather, and what you do is you take that, kind of like you're making a jam, where you dump it in there, about 4 cups of berries, half a cup of water, maybe about a third of a cup of sugar is least amount as you want to go, and then actually you bake it in the oven on the lowest temperature setting for about 8 hours to dry it out. And just, look at that. A homemade fruit roll-up. No corn syrup, no other funky stuff in it. Here.
So this is a lot healthier.
Yep. Gingerbread. This is Mrs. Claus gingerbread. But we're making it gluten-free for a lot of kids and adults out there who can't have any gluten in their diet. I've been inspired by a couple cookbooks and played around with some recipes to create a really good gingerbread.
Okay, great. Now, these are some of the ingredients that you use. What makes these
They all have they don't have any gluten. They're flour alternatives. And then you've also got, you've got some potato starch, corn flour, tapioca flour, a whole bunch of things you've never really used, but they help make the consistency of a flour item and create the gingerbread that we have right there. Well, we're going to go ahead and add our brown sugar. Go ahead, buddy. We have brown sugar, and then we have some spices. We have some cinnamon, and we have some xanthan gum, which is going to help it not to be dry and crumbly.
That's what I was going to say, when you're using an alternative flour.
And then we have some vegetable oil. We're going to add, isn't he a good helper?
I was going to say, he's such a good helper.
And he's going to crack the egg.
Wow.
And then I've also got...
I got to see this.
Yes, watch this.
You're an expert.
Perfect.
Good job, bud.
You can put it right there. And then we've got some soy milk. This is for the kids and adults that can't have any dairy. Oh, that's okay. And then...
That's no problem.
And then, I know your hands are slippery. And then we've got, here's the flour blend, which is made up, I'm going to go ahead and add this, which is made up of, and you can stir. So that's the first one. We're going to wait till he gets his eggs all, he's got his milk added. And then the other thing that we're going to do is taking some whole wheat graham crackers, and I'm going to give some to you.
Okay.
And we're going to take some peanut butter, and I'll use this one if you want to use this one.
Okay, great.
And we're just going to spread it on. We're going to make basically like a peanut butter and banana bar.
I think this sounds delicious. I love peanut butter. I love bananas.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut our banana in half. Cut off the edges. Kids can totally cut bananas.
So would you have them make this in the morning?
Yeah.
It's always so crazy. I guess wake them up a few minutes early, huh?
If you can, and just I think there'd be an incentive. Say, hey, you can go ahead and make your breakfast,
own breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Once you tell kids they can do that, I mean, they do get excited about it.
They do, and they'll probably get up earlier. No, I can't say all kids will, but some of them will. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our banana, however it fits on here. Okay, take the other side. And squish it together.
And that's a great breakfast.
And to me, it's a whole wheat cracker. I got it at Sprouts. Peanut butter. You can use natural peanut butter.